How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Hopefully, everyone is having a lovely day. So, our Cincinnati Bengals, they start the season 1-3. They lose to the Titans. The Bengals have not lost to a team with a losing record in the last 2 years, with the exception of the Tennessee Titans. And all of a sudden, what's happening? Is it all Joe Burrow's leg? There was some talk about sit Joe Burrow. There was some talk about benching the quarterback. Give this guy 5-6 weeks. Like, hey, bring him back in 6 weeks. We can't keep doing this. There was some panic in Cincinnati. The Bengals defense was not stopping to run. Teams are running up and down the field. That was what was really killing this team. They couldn't get up the field. Offensively, they couldn't move the football down the field, so they was wearing down the defense. Defense was always tired. They could not stop the run. When Bengals can't stop the run, you're in a world of trouble if you can't stop the run. And it was feeling gloomy in Cincinnati. You're 1-3, but hey, you look back and say, hey, you lost to the Browns, you lost to the Ravens. That's textbook Bengals. You lost early in the season. That's textbook Bengals. It was when you lost that Titans game where it felt gut wrenching. A lot of people started questioning things. But then you give Joe Burrow a little bit of time to get a little healthier, play a little better, and all of a sudden the Bengals win 4 straight football games. Joe Burrow's completing 75% of his passes in that span. He's got 10 touchdowns, and he's looking like, and he's statistically the best quarterback in the league over that 4-game span. And now all of a sudden you're saying, hey, Bengals back 5-3. You go into that 1-3, you got the Bills, you got the Seahawks, you got the 49ers, 3 very good football teams. These 2 teams are very likely to be in the playoffs this season. To say you were going to take 3 of 4, Bengals have been like, all right, that's great. That's great. We're going to go, what was that, 4-4? 4-4 into the, 4-4, 8 games into the season. We'll take that. But to say the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win all of them, and to say they were going to go up against a San Francisco 49ers team in San Francisco and run up and down that field, it didn't look like they had they had no answer. They had no answer for Joe Burrow and company. Then you go play the Buffalo Bills. It felt a lot like that game against the San Francisco 49ers. The game ended up close, but it did feel like it was close. And all of a sudden, the Bengals are clicking all cylinders. T. Higgins getting involved more and more once again. T. Higgins started the season slow, and he's playing really well. Jamar Chase was carrying that load there for a couple games, but Higgins tells you ready to go. He's playing better. Still got the woes in a run game. But the offense is clicking. You go to the defensive side of the football field. I mean, you're clamping down Kenneth Walker, Christian McCaffrey. Even the Bills struggled to run the football and struggled mightily. And James Cook was averaging 4.8 yards per carry going into that game. The run defense has figured everything out and then some. Lou Anarumo does it every year. Gonna miss him. Gonna really miss this guy. I need all the teams in the league to do what they did last year and just say, like, well, we don't want that. We don't want no defensive coordinators or offense. We don't need that. And we don't need that as a defense. We want that head coach. Yeah, you don't want that. I agree. You don't want that. Bengals, can we pay this guy some head coach money? You think he'd want to stay? You always understand why the coaches want to go. You always want to try to level up just like anybody else. You don't want to stay in the minors if you don't have to. You're going to play in the majors. And that's kind of what the head coaching job is for a coach, right? But, would you like to keep this guy? Because he is something else. He is something else to turn that defense around from where it was and to game plan the way he does, to lock down guys like Josh Allen, to get the turnovers, to make the big stops every single week. It seemed like even when the Bengals offense was struggling, the defense was making big stops when it needed to. And that is what championship defense does. They make the big stops when you need to. They force teams to field goals and get a couple turnovers here and there if you can. And the Bengals defense has been doing that through and through. Trey Hendrickson looks to be like he's playing Trey Hendrickson of 2 years ago once again, nice and healthy. Cam Taylor-Britt is stepping up in a big way. You got him. You got a healthy Awuzie, the secondary, the safeties. Again, you're waiting and waiting. But you know these guys. You know these young guys are coming up through the works and they're getting ready. Myles Murphy's still figuring it out. Obviously, you expected that. But you got that defensive line playing really well. You go to the offensive side of the football. The offensive line slowly but surely building that chemistry as we expected. Looked a little rough to start the season. But again, shuffled things up. Williams to right tackle. You bring in Orlando Brown. You had to work on that, a little bit of chemistry. Right now, though, you protect Joe Burrow against the Bills. You protect Joe Burrow against the 49ers. 2 of the best teams in the league at getting pressure and hitting the quarterback. Burrow looking like he wasn't going to die out there. I mean, we don't see that. We have not seen it a lot in the Joe Burrow tenure in Cincinnati. So it feels like this football team is playing the best football it's played under Joe Burrow. It's a football team that's been to the Super Bowl before. So we're halfway through the season. And as a Bengals fan, there is a lot to be excited about right now. A lot to be excited about. Evan McPherson looking like he's locked in again. Remember when he had the woes last year, but we talk about it's some of the minor things. When you have that battery change, if you will, and you got the pitcher catcher, but you got the snapper, you got the long snapper, you got the holder, you got the kicker. That's a thing of its own as well. That they shook that up last season, figuring things out. That gets ahead of a kicker as well. And the kicker in general, you just hit a rough spot. It happens. But Money Mac looks to be back and ready as good as ever. They got that last Super Bowl run, right, where he was playing outstanding, making them big kicks. I like everything about where the Bengals are right now. It feels like they're winning in all three phases. Higgins with a little bit of hammy injury right now, but ain't worried about it. I think they'll be all right. The one thing you worry about, you'd like to see the run game be a little bit more consistent. We'll see if that happens. They've shown some flashes. Last week again against Buffalo wasn't much there. Buffalo, good defense, though. We'll see, though. Love to hear y'all's thoughts. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time.